Coach, it is a sound like no other when they raise that 12th man flag here in Seattle. We just heard it, and that means it's time for football at CenturyLink Field. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the New Orleans Saints and the Seattle Seahawks. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Check 53. Alert.
This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Run left. It comes to me, it's me. Spot that.
Here's Wilson. This complete to Lockett. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. That one, a first down pickup of 8. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now it's Carson. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
Hey, 0. 47's the mic. 47's the mic. Hey, let's get that ball, D. Let's get that ball. Check. Hold up. Check. Hey, easy,
On second down now, it's Carson. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
It's 3rd down and 6.
And for the Saints here on 3rd down, an extra defensive back on the field.
Hey, 0. Move to team. Orbit.
From the shotgun, Wilson. It's caught, Lockett. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And did he put that on a dime? He did. Wow, out of bounds at the 1-yard line.
Brandon, you're never quite sure what the side judge or the field judge is going to rule there. That was awfully close, but in the end, he says it passed over the 1-yard line, and that's where they're going to mark it out. I mean, you can see it right there, right? See him walking up the sideline? Told him to stop right there at the 1.
Out of his end zone, Mariota. He's got his all-pro receiver, Michael Thomas. And he works free. He's at the 40. And he takes it all the way down to the 28-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. 71 yards.
And the Saints, 1st down.
So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's 1st and 10.
54. One. Check. Walk 54. Walk 54. Walk. Check.
Throwing is Mariota. Steps away to his left. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. A wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now second down. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28.
Jump.
And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
They'll run it for the first time with Alvin Kamara. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. A stop there on third. They could have held him to 3 on this opening drive. Now they have to bow their necks on 1st and goal.
And if I'm looking at this from the offense's point of view, that's a big-time pickup right there, and I'd go right at them with another momentum play. I'd go quickly and attack them because right now they probably have their heads down a little bit since they didn't stop them on third down.
Try to pound it in, Kamara. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you've got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. And he is in for the score. Touchdown, New Orleans. A 5-yard touchdown. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This one taken from the 7. And they'll have excellent field position to begin this drive as he's all the way up to midfield at the 50.
Well, you gave up the first touchdown of the game, but how about the response? Big-time return. Now it's their chance to try and put points on the board.
Good starting field position here for the Seahawks as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line.
Watch the ship. He's got the 6. Now. He's coming to double up. Bang, 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 bang. Check to 14.
This is Carson. And he is across midfield from 149 to the other 49, a gain of just 2.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. And this is picked up by the Saints. There he goes, right side, past the 20, and he's into the end zone. A fumble return and a Saint touchdown. So this defense clicking early in the year, week one, the return for a touchdown.
The organization made a concerted effort in the offseason to improve this defense. I have to say they like the early returns.
And this is no good. Missed the PAT, so they fail to connect, and this remains a 13-0 game. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Wilson. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. It's a gain of 15, first down Seahawks.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. 13-0 is the score after 1 on EA Sports. They'll run on first down. Carson brought down, but after we saw a flashy little move, stopped short of the 40. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4.
I smell fear in that offense. 14. I smell fear in that offense.
Wilson. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson. Oh, he tries to get it to Metcalf, but it's intercepted. Anthony Averett picks it. And now off to the races down the right side. And he'll score. Touchdown, New Orleans. And a great return as they're finally able to take him down. Well, we know this defense has athleticism. Spots like that prove us right.
I love the way that you spotlighted the athleticism because you and I both know the best athletes on the field, they play on defense.
Oh, I don't know. I was a kicker. You got to remember that now.
Come on, come on.
Fine. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but
you don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Out, 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 out. Check, 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 check.
Here's Carson. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Now Wilson operating from the gun. He sets to fire deep.
And attempted a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. The Seahawks on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Operating from the gun, Wilson. He's going to look deep for more. And it's incomplete. Both players had a shot at that one. Neither can get it, and it brings up 4th down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. Oh, he'll field it in the end zone. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Saints will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And they had to go the length of the field last time out to get into the end zone. And with this starting field position, they're going to have to pretty much do it again.
And I think the thought process going into it is, hey, if you have to be methodical, go ahead and do that. But what you really want are a couple of big plays. Eat up chunks of yardage and cut down the number of times you have to snap the football. What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
They'll get 5 on the dump-off there, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Complete to number 88. A 5-yard pickup on the play. And it's 3rd down.
It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down.
Let's get off the field. Let's get off the field.
Working out of the gun, Mariota. And this is going to be incomplete.
And that's a crusher right there. Had his man open for a 1st down. Threw a fastball when that wasn't necessary. Incomplete pass. When are these quarterbacks going to learn? You don't get extra points for how hard you throw the football.
And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35.
At their own 34-yard line.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him. All right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make it 3rd down. To throw is Wilson. From the gun, he'll throw. Escaping the pressure right. That's to his running back, complete. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. Wilson and the offense not coming off the field. They're going for it on 4th.
Go, go, go. Check. Good up for signal.
Here we go on 4th with Wilson. And he's got Lockett. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 10 yards and a Seattle 1st down. It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, You're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try and put some points on the board.
A nice burst there as they'll get about 7 that time on the first down run. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. A throw over the middle taken in. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. David Moore, 46 yards, as they are now on the board here in the first half.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Rip left, rip left. Switch it. Come on. Recon, 132 fight.
And they'll try the jet sweep here. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Not your conventional play call, but that's okay. You probe the defense a little bit with some of everything in your playbook. That way they have to account for everything as the game moves on.
Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. And that will skip out of bounds right at about the 18-yard line.
At their own 18-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the second. But there's also something to challenging your offense right here. You know, hey, guys, you help dig this hole. See if you can get us out of it a little bit before the half runs out. Let's go make some plays.
And the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Watch the slant. Watch the slant. Check. 14.
Throwing again. Wilson. He's going to launch this thing. Wait. He's got a man. Complete. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. The big play has them all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10.
I'm going to come back.
Wilson now operating from the gun. That's complete into the hands of Carson. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Now it's Wilson. Dancing to his left. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left. And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the second down play, they burn the timeout, making him sweat out the final few ticks here in the second quarter. So on is Jason Myers. He's hit from as long as 58 in his career. And this will be spotted on the other side of the field. It's a 61-yard attempt. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach. We'll see if week one fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spend the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. To throw is Mariota. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. 10 yards, good for his Saints, first down.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Mariota now from the 50. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a second down and 17. Toss play, Kamara. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a third down and long.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Third and long here for Mariota. And the throw there going to be incomplete. So good coverage there defensively as it looks like they'll force a punt on this opening drive of the third.
Well, let's coach them up a little bit from right here in the booth. That's exactly what they needed to do. They need to start stringing together some stops, turning the ball over back to their offense, and trying to get back into this game.
Yeah, a couple scores down, but they can eat into that quickly with a nice drive here on the other side.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. They'll start out on the ground with Carson. And he'll be taken down for a loss back at the 3. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
Well, if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now Wilson down around his goal line. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass.
Zebra.
On third down, Wilson. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And this one will be taken up. They'll spot it right at the 7. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a fourth down. Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. Taken from just outside the 30. Nearly a huge return, as it is. Still a very good one. 24 yards. And the Saints will have a short field in front of them. They take over here, 1st and 10. They'll try to get the offense going with Kamara. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
Tight dog. 66.
They run it again with Kamara. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It's a loss of 4. Now third down. And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on third down. Here's Mariota. This is complete to Michael Thomas. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to fourth down.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a first down.
These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
They'll begin the drive with Carson. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Watch it. Go, guys, 4 down. He's mine. Let's go. Come on.
On 2nd and 7, Wilson forced out to his left. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. This is caught inside the 15. A big play that time for the Seahawks. 61 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well.
He's in a double coverage, and it's intercepted. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
As much football as we watch, we've seen this work many times. In the red zone, first down, take a shot at the end zone, and points result. In this case, though, give credit to the defense. They outguessed them, were prepared, and intercepted the pass.
Hey, watch it.
He's got daylight. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. 10. Touchdown, New Orleans. A big play there. Making quite a splash with his second touchdown in his NFL debut. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Lutz good on the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This one taken just inside the 10. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
At their own 30-yard line.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told him, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football, and everything else should flow from there.
Quick lesson, never ask the play-by-play guy a question.
Hey, you're my partner. I know you're right there with me.
Back now in Seattle, Washington. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Wilson now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. They run it with Carson. And an alley to run. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. First down, Seattle, 16 yards the gain there.
Well, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 15. First down, Seahawks.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season. Tackling, because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus, the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
That's what I do. Check. 53's mine. Check. 53's mine. Hey, defense, let's go. Pick it up.
From the red zone now, here's Wilson on 1st down. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Flushed out right. He can run for it, and he will. Give him 8 yards that time on the scramble, and now 4th down. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down.
Bang out, fans.
They'll try and throw for him with Wilson. And this is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Saints will have the football back. Well, that's another mistake there on the drop pass on 4th. And we've seen him do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game or win the game all game long. That's another example right there. It all boils down at the end of it to execution. Either you make the play or you don't.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
Right there, 54 Mike. You don't know no better. Shift. Kill. One. Blue dot quarters. Watch out. Check. One. Mike, 54.
Throwing, Mariota. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care.
And Kamara has it stripped, and the Seahawks have picked it up. And they'll be inside the red zone with the ball at the 16-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. No gain on the play there, second down. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. DK Metcalf there to make the grab. And the Seahawks capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6.
They went 5 wide in that offensive set, and racing going 3 wide's a big deal. To go 5, how about the way that they finish things off?
Did you just fit a race car reference into the game?
Zoom, zoom. How about the way that you play? When you go 5 wide, that means you're going fast now.
Zoom, zoom indeed. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on second down.
Bravo! Mike's 50, Mike's 50. One. Hey, check Mike 50. Mike is
Now Mariota. And a quick throw here, that's complete. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
The Saints on third down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation.
No.
From the gun, Mariota. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. And he brings this up to the 46, good enough for the first. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Mike 50. I got you, boy. Hey, Mike 50. I'm coming. One.
From the shotgun, it's Mariota. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. And this defense here going to burn their second timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. A first down throw for Mariota. He's going to air this thing out deep for Thomas. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Mariota, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game.
Go ahead and take a seat. You can't stop me.
So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now Mariota. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop, 1:50 left in the football game.
And it has been a good game for them. They haven't been pressured very much today. But on back-to-back sacks, maybe the defense is starting to figure something out.
Now it's Lockett. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And it'll be Seahawk football as they take over deep in their own territory. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you score points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it a 2nd down. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. On 1st down, Wilson eluding the pressure right. Here's Carson with a catch out of the backfield. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Wilson, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Emmanuel Ogbah just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7. Here's Wilson. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards.
Green 80! You! Run it! Undercrush! All go special! One left! Go now!
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Wilson. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock. Tyler Lockett was the target there. And now it's 3rd down. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Throwing again here. Wilson. It's caught. Lockett. And this is going to be another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Saints 36.